Hi everyone, and welcome to the fourth in a series of podcasts about everything that is Luton Sixth Form College. This particular podcast then is about that tricky business of how we make the transition from being a year 11 student to being a year 12 student at the college. My name is Marc Hulbert, and I'm the Director of Progress, Behaviour and Achievement at the college. And I'm joined by my colleague Amanda, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, good morning. I'm Amanda Jeffries, and I am the Admissions, Promotions and Customer Service Manager at the college. Good morning.
Good morning, Amanda. Thanks for joining us. And we're also very privileged this morning to be joined by the Year 11 head from Denbigh High School. Jay, would you just like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Jay Sahota and I'm head of Year 11, and I've got two current Year 11 students here to ask some questions about the transition period.
So we're joined by Aisha and Siam, and Siam have got lots of questions I know that they want to ask. So Jay, do you want to talk about transition briefly before we hear the questions from Aisha and Siam?
Yeah, of course. So we've struggled this year really with the pandemic and not being able to have the students go to sixth form and have a day at sixth form, take some of the courses and really experience an interview. It's all been done via the phone. You guys have done a brilliant job with that. So we've come up with some questions over the last couple of days that students have, and they want to get a little bit of insight into Luton Sixth Form.
Fantastic, Jay. Thank you very much indeed. So I think let's move on as quickly as we can then to hear the questions from the most important people this morning, our two students. So Siam, I think you're asking the first question. Fire away.
The first question is, can I change my subject choices when I come to sixth form?
Okay, great question. Yeah, so everyone at the moment is having interviews over the telephone about the subjects that they would like to take when they come to the college, and hopefully we get that right. We want to get that right as much as we possibly can, but we do appreciate you don't yet know what your grades are going to be, your teacher assessed grades, and you will have an enrollment interview at the college, which, Amanda, I think those start on the 31st of August.
That's right. Yes, enrolment's from the 31st of August to the 3rd of September, so 4 days.
So if you have changed your mind a little bit, we can always discuss that during enrolment and have a conversation at that point. Once you're on a course, we do want you as much as possible to stick with that course. So we try really hard to make sure that we get you onto the right course. There is a small window a few weeks into term where some students can make some changes, but it is quite limited, and there will be courses at that point that will actually be full. So I think it's really important that at enrollment we spend that time with you, as much time as it takes, to make sure that we get you onto the right course and we set you off on the right footing. Obviously, you know, even changing a course a couple of weeks in is always going to be disruptive. Amanda, anything else to say on that?
No, I mean, just really the final interviews that Mark has spoken about at enrolment are the time for us to adjust your timetable of choices, and it will depend on obviously your incoming GCSE grades, whether there's availability on the course and through discussion. So we understand and appreciate that you might have changed your mind since you put your application in, but it will depend on the entry criteria and availability.
Siam, hopefully that answers your question. So Aisha, shall we move over to you? I think you've got a question yourself.
Yeah. How do I know if I am eligible for EMA?
Okay, so I'm going to repeat that because you're a little bit quiet. So I think you said, how do you know if I am eligible for EMA? So EMA, wow, okay, that's going back a little way actually. EMA doesn't exist any longer. That was the maintenance allowance that was available to students. Oh gosh, how many years ago is that? Amanda, how many years ago is that? 5 years ago, more?
That's at least 10 years. I know my daughter was in receipt of that over 10 years ago. So yeah, we've got a new scheme now, which is called the Student Support Scheme, which is the bursary for our students. And for you to know if you're eligible, there is data on the website, the college website, providing you with information on the criteria that you might need to meet. We will also be sending some information out to our prospective students in the summer. We'll send you an application form and some guidance so that you can take a look to see if you do meet the criteria to apply. And we'll also have some information and guidance available for that at enrolment.
Thanks, Amanda.
Sorry, Matt,
Jay.
can you just let us know what that actually entails and what kind of support there is available for students?
Generally, it's a weekly allowance. If you're meeting the criteria and we've seen the evidence and you are eligible for bursary, then it's generally £10 a week. And the criteria is that you must have 100% attendance to be sort of provided with that income.
Thank you.
So there's an incentive to make sure that you attend all of your lessons. Aisha, do you have an older brother or sister who was at the college? Is that how you know about EMA?
Yeah, but I have a sister there. She's going to leave now and go to uni.
Oh, is she? Okay, awesome. Okay, well, we wish her luck. Okay, Siam, let's come back to you then. I think you have another question for us.
The next question is, what happens if I don't meet the criteria for the courses I have picked?
So what happens if you don't meet the criteria for the course that you've picked? Okay, what I would say is you should still come along to your enrollment interview. So that, as Amanda said earlier on, is the interviews happening from the 31st of August and through the first few days of September. Because even if you've not met the criteria for the courses that you originally wanted to do, there will almost certainly be courses that you can do at the college that will be relevant to you and that will take you in the direction that you're hoping to go in terms of, you know, your future progress and the direction after the college. So for example, if you wanted to do, I don't know, biology, chemistry, physics, something like that, if you didn't meet the requirements for those courses at A level, then you may still meet the requirements for a BTEC level 3 extended diploma in biomedical science. So I just use that as an example. So come along, there will still almost certainly be courses that you can do that are relevant to you, and we can have those conversations when we enroll you. Amanda, anything else to add?
I would just like to say to the year group that it can be a daunting experience coming into the enrolment period, especially if you're not sure if your grades meet the criteria for your conditional offer. And we've got a lot of people there to support you, you know, as well as our specialist interview team, which comprises head of faculties and course managers and subject teachers and SLT members. You know, we've got the director of curriculum there on board to help you, our careers team. We've got the admissions team. There's so many people there to support you, and it's really important that you have a voice and you speak up and you ask your questions on that day rather than sort of walking away and wishing you'd asked something. So that's what I would say about enrolment.
Thank you, Amanda. So Aisha, it's back over to you then for your next question.
If I do not achieve a grade 4 in either maths or English, will I have to retake?
Yeah, okay, great question. So if you don't achieve your grade 4 in either maths or English, will you need to retake them? The short answer to that is yes. Yes, you will. So yeah, if you've not got a grade 4 in maths, you'll need to retake your maths GCSE. If you've not got a grade 4 in English, you'll need to retake your English GCSE. So fingers crossed, hopefully you'll get those courses. There's probably nothing more to say about that one. It's a simple yes, you do. So Siam, shall we hear your next question?
Yeah. What is the difference between level 2 and 3 BTEC?
So what's the difference between level 2 and level 3 BTEC? So first of all, BTEC courses they tend to be more vocationally based. And the assessment is a little bit different on the BTEC courses from, say, an A-level course. They tend to be more continually assessed. There are external exams now on most BTEC courses, but nonetheless, they do majoritatively have continual assessment. The difference between level 2 and level 3 is that level 3 is at the same level as an A-level. And level 2 is the same level as a GCSE. So some of our students who are taking level 2s, perhaps they didn't quite get the grades that they needed to meet our entry requirements for a level 3 course. Some students just take a little bit longer to develop. Some students haven't been studying in the UK for a long time, and they need that level 2 really just to build up their skills. Lots of our level 2 students then do go on to become level 3 students, and they would spend 3 years at the college rather than 2. A level 3 BTEC, just to really emphasize this, is the same level as an A level, and you get the same number of UCAS points. I believe one of you might have a question about UCAS points later, which we'll look at, yeah, that's the difference between the two. Level 3 is equivalent to A level, level 2 equivalent to GCSE, and so they do have different entry requirements. Amanda's waving at me now, so I think Amanda must have something to say.
Just really to say that the level 2 is a 1-year program. So some students might come straight in for level 3 advanced courses, and they'll be here for 2 years. And some students will come in for a 1-year program. If they achieve that to the standard that we need them to, then they can then progress on to advanced courses, and they'll ultimately be here for the 3-year period.
Thanks, Amanda. Okay, so I think, Siam, is it back to you?
My question is, can I study a course I did not take in my GCSEs?
Can you study a course that you didn't take for your GCSEs? Yeah, but mostly yes. Some courses have entry requirements where you might have had to have achieved a certain grade in your GCSE, but lots of courses at the college, of course, don't really exist at GCSE. So, you know, I'm thinking of courses like criminology, for example. You know, criminology has become one of our really popular courses, level 3 courses at the college. You wouldn't have studied that at GCSE, so absolutely, yeah. So if you're not sure, have a look at the entry requirements on the college. If you're thinking about taking on the college website, I beg your pardon. So if you're thinking about taking a course, have a look at those and see whether you need to have achieved a certain grade at GCSE. Okay, Siam, shall we come over to you?
The next question is, can I drive to college?
Can you drive to college? Yeah, as long as you've passed your driving test. If you've not passed your driving test, no, that's really not a good idea. But if you have, and lots of students do, of course, whilst they're at college, and yeah, we do have facilities for student parking, and you'd need to speak to our head of security just to make sure that you've got permission. And of course, you need to obey all of the rules of the highway code, driving safely and carefully at all times. That sounded like a safety message, didn't it? But I think that is quite important. Yeah. So yes, you can. Okay, Aisha, let's take your next question.
What time do I start and finish?
So what time do you start and finish? So the college day starts at 8:30 and really finishes at 5:10. Lots of students would finish the majority of their classes at 3:35, but college courses do go on until 5:10, and you need therefore to be available every day from 8:30 until 5:10. Now, of course, college isn't like school. So in a school, you'd be timetabled really from the get-go, the point at which you arrive, right until the end of the day. College isn't quite like that. So you might find that on a particular day, you don't start your classes until 10 o'clock. And that means that you wouldn't need to be in college until 10 o'clock. You might find on another day that your classes finish at 2 o'clock. And that means if there's nothing else scheduled in terms of catch up or anything like that, then you could finish at that time. But you do need to be available every day between 8:30 and 5:10. So Siam, I think that's back to you.
The next question is, can I leave for lunch or during the day?
Yeah, you can do. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you live close enough to get home for lunch in time to get back for your next lesson, you can do that. You don't have to be on the college premises, but of course, we have lots of really, really high quality facilities available to us here. Fantastic learning resources centre, study centres, and of course, we want you to make the best out of your time whilst you're with us and the best out of your studies. And the more you can do that during the day, you might find then that helps you to manage some of your time in the evening. So yes, you can, unless you're directed to be in college by a teacher or a progress coach or another member of staff. But you absolutely have to be making the best of your time whilst you're here. Aisha, shall we pick up another question from you?
What are UCAS points?
Was that what are UCAS points? I think it was, wasn't it? So UCAS points are the points that are awarded to you in terms of progression to university. So UCAS is the universities and colleges admissions system, and for every A level that you do or BTEC that you do, BTEC level 3, they come with a certain number of points. So, for example, if you got the highest grade in an A level, so that's an A star, that would give you 56 UCAS points. And if you got the highest grade possible in what's called a BTEC subsidiary diploma, or more often now an extended certificate, that's equivalent to 1 A level. So if you got a distinction star, that's also 56 points. It's exactly the same as the A level. If you were doing a diploma, so that's a sort of double A level, really, it's worth 2 A levels. If you got the highest grade possible there, so a double distinction star, that would give you 112 UCAS points. So in other words, exactly double. And universities will sometimes make offers, or very often make offers, based around a certain number of UCAS points. So a university might say, we want you to achieve, let's say, 120 UCAS points, and they can be made up in various combinations. So it's all about really progression from the college into higher education. That's quite complicated. I hope I've explained that okay. Amanda, did that make sense to you?
Did make sense, Mark. Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. And what I would say is we have an absolutely fantastic careers team here who are more than happy to sit down with students, help them plan their futures. So anything at all about UCAS, they'll be able to help you. We also have an amazing team of progress coaches who are very similar to form tutors in a school. So they'll be looking after you, they'll be taking care of you, and they'll guide you through that whole process of moving on to higher education after the college, or moving into an apprenticeship, or moving into high quality employment, whatever it is that you want to do in the future. So we've probably got time for maybe one more question. Siam, I think, was that back to you?
Can I take apprenticeship after college, or do I have to take it during college?
So apprenticeship, yeah. So apprenticeships are, there are different types of apprenticeship. So we don't offer apprenticeships as a part of the college courses or programs in the way that a further education college would. So colleges like Barnfield College or Central Bedfordshire, for example, they might offer apprenticeships as a part of their program. However, lots of our students, and more so these days, do move away from the college into apprenticeships as a really good choice that's different from university, or from going straight into full employment. So we would be able to help you with that through the careers team, again through the progress coaches, but it's not something that we offer as a part of the college program during the time that you're here. It's very much about what you might do moving on from the college. Amanda, anything else that you can think of that we need to say there?
No, I mean, you've covered that. Some students that might come in at a level 2 for the 1 year, they might then have had a sample of the academic and college sort of life, and decide that after that 1 year they might want to go on to employment or apprenticeship, and we can support students in that way. And once you finish, like Mark said, your level 3 education, that's when you can be sort of considered in exploring the higher apprenticeship route. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Amanda. I think, Aisha, I'm going to squeeze one more question in from you. I might get told off here, but I hope it's okay. Aisha, have you got a quick question?
Yeah, if I'm finding work hard, who do I go and see?
Yeah, great. So if you're finding work hard, who do you go and see? Firstly, I would say you are going to find the work hard, and I think you should expect to find the work hard. You'd kind of be disappointed if you didn't, wouldn't you? Because you know most students are going to be stepping up from level 2 to level 3, and there are going to be points where you'll think, actually, I'm finding this really tough. So firstly, that's normal, it's natural, it's inevitable. What you mustn't do is keep that to yourself. Talk to our teachers. You know, we have an amazing group of teachers who are incredibly experienced at supporting young people. So talk to your teacher, talk to your progress coach, because as I said, your progress coach, a bit like a form tutor, takes that overall responsibility for you. And then there might be other reasons why you're finding work difficult, to do with issues going on outside of the college. And we have an amazing student support and counselling team, that we have a student welfare team that can support you as well if there are, you know, other reasons why you might be finding work hard because of those issues perhaps that, you know, inevitably young people face in their lives. But I think the most important thing is don't keep it to yourself. Talk to somebody about it, and don't think that you're the only person finding work hard. You know, I'm sure everybody will be, but talk to other people. So I think we're going to have to bring things to a close here. Jay, any final concluding remarks from you?
I just wanted to say thank you for taking your time out today and giving us a really good insight into college. Students were able to ask all the questions they wanted. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure, and it's been really lovely, Simon, Aisha, to talk to you guys particularly. Amanda, any final words from you?
I think I'd just like to say that, you know, there's obviously there could be a lot more questions that the students might have. So don't be shy, get in contact with us in the admissions team. Our contact details for quite a lot of staff members are on the college website. We would also encourage you to keep in contact with us through our social medias, like, share and subscribe to our pages. You will be receiving important information through social media from between now and September. So that's important.
Awesome. Thanks, Amanda. So yeah, as Amanda said, don't forget to like, share us on social media, subscribe. Don't be shy. Keep in touch. And guys, have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.